Greetings, everyone. This is Coach Toyin joining you from the City of Lights, Aurora, second largest city in Illinois. Welcome to Quantum Leap. Today, I'm bringing you a very special topic on the principles of energetics, okay? This is quite advanced, but you're going to see how it applies to business, wealth creation, relationship, how it also manifests when it comes to cellular health. So I want to welcome you for joining. We're also broadcasting live on my social platforms, so thank you so much for joining. Also, replays of this show will be available at the Aurora Community Television, Channel 10 on Comcast Cable Network here in Aurora. So let's get right into it. Feel free to also interact. For those watching this live, feel free to ask questions, feel free to engage as well. So in general, when it comes to principles of energetics, I want you to realize that at the creation layer, we are energetic beings and we use words, language to explain, describe, and give meaning to our natural experiences in the third dimension. So when it comes to physics, chemistry, biology, all of that exists in nature. So atoms, protons, molecules, right? It's that nature in of itself, creation, vibrates energetically at specific frequency, including yourself. And you also have this ability to generate your own thoughts, right? Your own beliefs, your own inner dimension stories, and you also give meaning to your life, right? You're experiencing life in the third dimension and you think about what you're experiencing, you give meaning to it, you have expression, so you also express, you speak, you communicate what's going on inside you externally. But there's another layer beneath the world of words, where we use words to describe meaning and explain. That world is purely energetics. When I also teach spiritual psychology, I talk about power, right? So when you think about equation of physics, power is energy produced in time. But the energetic side is where we can explain how humans connect, how we communicate energetically. The world of feelings and emotions, is driven by energetics, right? Is that at the cellular layer, right, and the muscular layer, what moves you, what propels you is really energy, right? Is that what activates your mitochondria, right? Your mitochondria, the cellular layer consumes energy. Your muscles are activated by your central nervous system, nerves, meaning electricity. Listen, there's an electrical side of us as well, and in our muscular side as well. So energy is around us, and energy is also within us. And one of the places like we as humans are heading towards is really unlocking more of the power of energetics, laying our hands more on it, grasping it the more, because the more of it that we understand, there's so many more things you can explain only with energetics, that oftentimes when humans, right, in the third dimension have questions about relationships, about why people do things, the world of behavior is also energetics, is propelled by your beliefs, thoughts, desires, right? And so the more of energetics we lay our hands upon, there are so many things in our reality that we can then give better meaning to versus assumptions. So what I want to unpack today are some of those things. So I'll start with the concept of feelings and emotions. Is that many times people, instead of trying to understand it, they tend to associate the concept of emotions as, fluffy, right? Like, emotions, right? Well, guess what? Emotion is actually how you do life. At the cellular layer, at the muscular layer, is that your being, right, expresses itself emotionally. And also feelings is how we experience and transfer our thoughts, our beliefs out into the world and back from the world into us, right? Is that feelings is actually a communication vehicle for energetic beings. So it's very important. It's very powerful. Is that we feel each other, we feel energy, we feel each other, and even how we describe each other is based on emotions and feelings. So for example, think about your friends, your co-workers. If I say, okay, describe them, you're likely to use words to describe how they make you feel or what it feels like to be in their presence, to do life with them. You're likely to describe them saying, oh, that person is so nice, that person is so kind, right? Is that what you're actually describing is their energy, their energetic state as you've experienced them in a consistent manner over a period of time. It's the feelings they unlock in you and the emotions activated when you do life with them. That's what you're going to describe with words. Okay? Is that people who make you feel good, who make you feel happy, you are attracted to them, you are drawn to them, you feel safe with them. And so this concept of magnetism is actually also propelled and designed by our feelings and emotions. Is that at the muscular layer, when you talk about the central nervous system, is that the electrical charge that we have because of the energetic disposition that we embody, we actually transfer it into the world. We transfer it with one another. We exchange. It's a communication layer that we use to transfer packets of information, right? And so that feeling in of itself, we make decisions subconsciously about how we feel in environments with people and when we experience things. Okay? So when we experience things that are energetic, we feel them. And so based on what those things feel like, we actually check in with ourselves and say, okay, what does this mean? Do you move closer? Does it feel safe? Right? Does it meet your desire? Or do you move away? Right? Feelings and emotions drive behavior because when we experience positive feelings, we are attached, meaning we love it, we like it. The people who make us happy, the people who share positivity with us, we are drawn to them and they to us. So magnetism, human magnetism is driven by emotions and feelings. So one way I just explained emotions, right, is that it's the energetic expression of your inner dimensions, right? Your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit, is that you express how you feel, you express your emotions, and your emotions is connected to your endocrine system, the hormones that we process based on the thoughts that we have or the things we're experiencing, is that it unlocks, right, release of hormones. And that is what is fed at the cells, right? It rushes through the bloodstream and goes to the cells. So I know I'm sharing a lot of science here. I talk about science of spirituality, connecting the world of science to the inner dimension of our being, our thoughts, our words, our beliefs, and how they influence, right, the things that we experience. So it is extremely important that we all learn. Now, when I say learning, this is why I teach, right? It's not something you just master once. It's that we all learn how to manage our emotions and feelings. And because that's our contribution to the world. And that's also how we're experiencing other people. And it takes a lot of skills. When we start going into the world of emotional intelligence is actually built on principles of energetics as well. Is that once you start exploring human emotions, human expression, you want to go deeper into the thoughts and energetic states that produce those emotions. And when we say, can you read a room? What are you reading, right? What are you reading, and what tools within you are you going to use to understand power dynamics, okay? What's being said, right? Beneath the surface at the energetic layer, how the room feels, who you think likes you or not, or who is ready to listen to you or not. Is that even the world of emotional intelligence is built on principles of energetics, because emotional intelligence allows you to read the room, read the energetic state, and also interpret it into words and give it meaning, bring it into consciousness, so that you can have the right tools and knowledge on the best way to act that is in your favor. You see, emotional intelligence requires you to understand energetics, feelings, emotions around you, within you, and then elevate that to a place of comprehension where you can give meaning, where you can speak to those feelings and emotions, where you can help people resolve, where you can help people solve for things they may not even be able to express. So emotional intelligence is very powerful because it is built on your ability to be intuitive enough to bring words to explain what's going on energetically in your environment, in your company, in your business, with your clients and customers, and then be able to serve them and offer them positivity, positive emotions, which is also energetics, right? So energetic expression of your inner dimension, just think about that as, right, the natural side of the third dimension, how you interact, what you bring to the third dimension and what you attract as well. So it's important for us to continue to acquire those skills, improve those skills, because that's really the laws of life. Also, when you start moving into relationships with people, whether in business or personal relationships, you're going to start experiencing what we call attachment theory. Is that we attach to places, people, and things also based on feelings and emotions. How people make us feel is why we do business with them. We want to do business with people we know, people we like, people we trust. And all of that as well is energetics. What you believe, okay, about other people leads you to trust them, leads you to like them, leads you to seek, okay, to engage with them in more meaningful ways. And that's the world business is built upon, trust, right? So trust is the equation, energetic equation that helps people come, right, get attracted into your brand, marketing, right? Your messaging is that when you put words out there, okay, everybody's consuming content. Yes, we're producing content and people are engaging with the content as well. Ultimately, that content must be translated to feelings and emotions for you to move people, for you to lead people, for people to follow you. Is that words fall flat when it doesn't activate meaning, when it doesn't activate feelings and emotions. So in your branding, marketing, and sales, I want you to start unpacking and try to answer these questions. How will this make other people feel? Because how you make them feel is actually what you're making them to believe, right? Beliefs become feelings, right? And then thoughts becomes emotions. So no matter what content you're putting out there, start asking, okay, what do you want people to walk away with? How are they going to feel when they engage with your content? Because that's what they would also remember. Why? Because memory is built on emotions and feelings, not just words. Is that you carry what I call a quantum computer, your mind. And so we experience and remember things emotionally, energetically. So the energetic state you move people into because of your content, because of your words, is what they would remember. In fact, the energy that you leave them with, that they experience within themselves, is what they're going to use to recall to recall memory. So emotions and feelings are very important in business as well. Also in relationships, is that you connect with people, right? You interpret your experience of people, right, emotionally as well. So attachment theory is one of those things of when you think about safety and people who then go out into the world and develop the courage to serve the world, right? So personalities also emerge because of attachment theory. Is that the emotional, should I say, database of your life experiences, all of the emotional states you have experienced, love, joy, all of those, is the tools you carry around to connect with other people. And so personalities are shaped, right? If you're someone that grew up quite energetic, quite talkative, expressive, right? Is that in a way that is powerful. You carry that into the world. But if you're someone that feel like you communication skill is not something you are comfortable with, then you may have to do more work. as well. But these are all energetic states. So attachment theory is built on this. Magnetism, electromagnetism is built on this. Is that in the scientific side, when you have your central nervous system and your endocrine system, the way God designed it, both of those things create an electromagnetic aura. What we call aura is when you move towards people, you will feel what they are feeling, and you're likely to experience what they're experiencing in their body as well. So we all share feelings and emotions. And so when you move towards people that make you feel, right, what we call high vibration, people that are happy make other people happy, right? Because we all feel what each person is feeling. And so working on our emotions as business owner is very important. If you're in sales, this is probably your number one skill you constantly have to develop, so that you are bringing positivity into the world and you are also attracting positivity as well. So who you become, right, is also built on energetics. When we talk about high frequency people, is this concept that people who always see the world through positivity, they bring hope, they bring joy, and in a way, people are drawn into that, because that's actually the natural state that we are created for, right? We're created for love. And so the more loving you can be, yes, love in business, it does help, right? And so we also want to make sure that when you have your product and services, it's not just about the product and services, your ability to communicate, right? What your product and service would do emotionally for other people, right? Is that, what problem are you going to solve? You're a solution provider, right? And then what pleasure are you going to bring to them? This is the magnetism that exists in marketing, sales, branding, is that people just want to know, what can you do for me? How am I going to experience your product and services? They have questions about why. Why should I listen? Why should I pay attention? And so this is very important, because the strategies I'm bringing to you, this is from, right, the biggest companies in the world. This is the most powerful tools that the biggest companies in the world unpack. I served as a strategist for Fortune 1, and I'm sharing that for you to win in business, for you to win in relationships, and also your cellular health is driven by the energetic states in which you're putting yourself and putting other people. So in my school, when I talk about inner wealth healing, there's a concept here. I'm just going to introduce it to you briefly. Is this idea that in the energetic world, your past, present, and future exist in now. And you unlock whichever state you want to move into with the power of focus and the power of choice. What do I mean? Is that you can, in a moment, re-experience, right, a vacation you took, say, 5 years ago. In a moment, you can bring that energetic state into now just by focusing on it and by choosing to experience that feeling and emotions. So in the energetic state, the concept of time is not the same as in the third dimension, where you're watching your clock, when you are seeing the world move past you in time. Is that in the energetic state, all realities that you have experienced or that you desire to experience that has fully manifested energetically, they are all available to you right now. All you have to do is focus on it and choose to bring the feelings and emotions into this moment. And so this is so important when we now move, right, when I move my students into what I call inner healing, emotional processing. Because many people may think their past 20, 30 years ago is so far away, right? Because time in the third dimension makes you think your energetic state, your childhood memories is far away from you. But once you understand principles of energetics, you realize that it's not far away, it's actually now. So in the moment, you can process it, you can bring it to a place of peace, and then you can move into a more positive state if you want to heal the past. The past is not far away in the energetic space, it's actually now. You can bring your past with memory, you can bring it today. The way I try to explain it is like a computer. Well, you can search, you can recall, you can look into the file you created months ago, and you can see it right now, what you saved in that file. And if you want to change the file, you can absolutely update the file and save it and send it back. And the file has been updated with new memory, new information, new insights, new conclusions. That's how powerful the principles of energetics is in this concept of inner healing, because many people may still be carrying negative vibrations, negative emotions, negative feelings of the past, not realizing you actually have the power in this moment to actually change it. And that's why I include a lot of workbooks in my school for people to just spend time to think about the life they've lived and to make a decision on the ones they want to move forward and the ones they want to bring to a new energetic state of peace. And so that also then unlocks this concept of detachment, right? There's attachment, then there's detachment. Is that in manifestation? I'm wrapping up now. In the principles of manifestation, one of the powerful things you can ever do, understanding what I just shared about your past, present, and future, all living in the moment of now, one of the most powerful things you can learn how to do is detaching from stories you no longer want to manifest, and then attaching to your desired future in now. Okay? It's a disciplined approach, because what you attach your emotions to is what you are creating, is what you're experiencing, is what you're attracting, is what you are manifesting. Whatever emotions you're experiencing, the stories that is producing that emotion or the energy you've attached to those stories is what you're living in. When you want a more expansive life, what you can do is to unlock a new set of stories and then prioritize experiencing those stories in your inner dimensions, and you're going to live in it and you're going to produce it. And when we talk about synchronicity and all of those things, you start unlocking in the quantum physics space new realities simply because you shifted your emotional state. So it's quite powerful. I know I'm sharing a lot of very advanced stuff, but really, this is the new way where we have to understand that you have the power. The power is within you, always within you, to choose, right? To choose what you want to focus on, to choose what you want to create, to choose what you want to experience, and then also the power to detach from what you don't want to focus on, right? You can move focus, because what you focus on is where your energy is being directed, and also it's deciding what you're attracting. There's this principle of the emotions and feelings that you bring to other people, you bring to the world. Realize that the natural state is you get it back. So if you understand that what you sow, you reap, then you have to do a lot of work, inner work. If you want the best, more success, higher level opportunities, then this is where who you become. When we say who you become is what really matters. And who you become is really the energy you hold within you, your beliefs, your thoughts, your stories. And who you become is also how other people will experience you and see you as well. So the power of detachment is something that guides when it comes to emotional healing, is that as you move through life, you're going to need to learn how to detach from things that you don't fancy, right? When you experience realities that is like, okay, and keep moving, because your progress, not being stuck. People get stuck because they are not practicing the principles of detachment. Once they attach negative meaning to a story, to a circumstance, to a person, to a thing, to a place, that's it. They're living in that story until or unless people practice this power of looking away, of healing or forgiving and letting go and say, you know what? I have places to go. I have things to see. And that's the powerful thing you can continue to experience as well. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Quantum Leap. I'm your host, Toyin Umesiri. You can access my resources, my books and workbooks at toyinumesiri.academy. I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless. Bye for now.